Welcome, everybody. It's the Savage Patriots on a Monday. Man, your money, your money's going to be a little bit different here coming in the near future.
Mhm.
And if you don't believe it, listen to it from the horse's mouth. And we have the horse's mouth today. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned to this one. You don't want to miss it. All right. Let me make sure I get all you Facebook people on in public. Here we go. We don't have Coy today, people. We don't because he's moving, not away from the show. He's just moving, and he has stuff that he needs to get done. Um, just please do. Um, hang on one second.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome,
We love
welcome,
it.
everybody.
See a lot of
Now-
familiar faces, a lot of familiar people. We love it.
Digital currency. Now, we had said some time ago, I think back in 29, not we the Savage Patriots, but people who are keeping an eye on things. In 2019, we had heard rumblings of a new way of American money being moved around. I had said back in 2015 that with the advent of the thing that they were bringing, that thing that just, wrapped up, that little sickly thing, that they would try to bring in a traveling document, which they did,
Mhm.
and that they were going to eventually do away with paper money, which they are now implementing. But you would have known that if you had just read Agenda 21, 30, and 50.
Mhm.
They tell us all the time, but people just never thought it would be legit. I mean, after all, they put a fact check at the bottom of it.
They always do.
So of course it can't be real. So we
Of
got some
course.
stuff to break down for you, and today is going to be the bro show because he got all the info, as you all know, with a po. See, I got bar.
You got that whole, you got bars, man. Bars.
Hey, there's info that I'm sharing. This is directly from the Federal Reserve, but a lot of it's going to be how I feel and how we feel and if it's good and if it's going to work. And there's a lot of stuff in there that they're not telling us about this digital currency. So they just show you that it's a good thing, and we'll go into that. But yeah. All right. So you can go directly to the Federal Reserve website, and it pretty much says right here that it's not implemented, or it's pretty much they're still talking about it. So it breaks it down, this key focus, and how the CBDC to improve on an already safe and efficient U.S. domestic payment system. So digital liability, and it goes to all this. So if you just go to the CBDC website, we don't have to go over all of this because a lot of you can read it yourself. We're just showing you where we're getting our information from, and it's directly from their site. But they're pretty much saying on here that it's not implemented. But if something that's not implemented, why would they have a whole web page on it?
True.
You know what I mean? Why would they have a whole web page on it? I mean, if it's not real, it's right here in black and white. But to break it down, for us people in here,
bro, it's a placeholder.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a placeholder.
like that thing X.
It's digital currency X.
Digital currency X.
All right. So basically, the central bank digital currency, the CBDC, is a digital form of the country's fiat currency. So they're pretty much saying it's the same as the dollar, but it's not. It's a nation's monetary authority of the central bank issues a CBDC, which promotes financial inclusion and simplifies implementing monetary and fiscal policy. Many countries, I hate that word, many countries are exploring how the CBDC may affect their economies and financial networks and stability. So they're already implementing this in other countries. China, I think, started it, and a couple other countries.
I'm not surprised.
The scary part, central bank. So pretty much what happens. So your money goes from fiat. That means no cash transactions. Cash is done. That means if your local lawnmower guy comes on or your pizza delivery guy comes on, there can be no more. Here's a tip, because cash is gone. Everything's going to be taken through the Fed Now app. So the Fed Now app is going to replace the apps like Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, which was a peer-to-peer payment system. So whenever I pay cash, when I send money from my bank to Cash App, that money goes directly to the person I want to send it to. There's no middleman really, except, I mean, Cash App, they take their fee. So now the CBDC, every single transaction that you do through this digital currency is tracked by the Fed, by the central bank. So say you're still going to have your bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, whatever major bank you have. Now, remember when we talked about a couple months how all these smaller banks are going to start getting eaten up by these big banks. And then we talked about how the central bank was going to control these big banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and all of them. So that's how it's going to work. So say my mortgage is through Wells Fargo. So I go to make my mortgage payment. My money, that payment's first going to go to who? The Fed. The Fed will see it, and then the Fed will send it back down. So now the Fed knows every transaction that I'm making. Say DoorDash. I go to buy DoorDash. Instead of going directly to DoorDash, that money's going to go to the Fed first, then to DoorDash. So the Fed is tracking every single transaction you make. And that's where I have a problem with it. And of course, they're going to take their fees off the top.
Oh
So
my
every
gosh.
time you make a transaction, think about it. They're not going to do it for free. You got to send it to them. They're going to take their little percentile, then they're going to send it back down. And we don't know what that percentile is, but it's a way to steal more money from the American people. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
So they did this before,
Mm-hmm.
and many probably didn't catch that they were doing this. But they did it before when they got Biden in office. I think we kind of went over this on the Rumble platform. I'll just kind of skim over it and not say what I would normally say on Rumble. But everything that you did on that day in 2019, when you went out to do your thing for the next presidency, we talked about them having access to what you did. And then once you put in your submission for what you thought and who you thought should be there, it went to a location outside of the secure area, and they could do what they need to it and send it back into circulation to be tallied. My thought about it is that they were testing out the best system to get it the same way they were monitoring the $600, try and find a way they can get banks to be in compliance to share the information. Once they've shared the information, they can crash the dollar, which they have.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've crashed the dollar, you say you have to turn everything into a sort of an online thing, so you don't have to worry about banks and the whole collecting of cash and things going awry. No overhead is what they'll put it as, and you won't have to have a whole bunch of insurance because everything's digital. And everything is digital. Because everything is digital, there is no real limit on funds. And that'll sound really good in that you don't have to worry about paper money being printed.
Right.
But the flip side is now they have complete control over it. Now, say you want to go buy something that they don't approve of. All they have to do is decline it in the transfer. It goes up to them. They say, nope, not approved, sends it back to your bank. You never get your product, even if it's something that you want to have. If the government deems it unnecessary or illegal, you're not getting it. Especially if you're selling something that they deem not deemable for human use. They have the right to shut down your business and seize your assets without you even knowing. So imagine you have a bank. You're a business person and you have a bank. Hold on, Jay. Hold on. If you got a bank and you have your money inputted every day, okay, and then all of a sudden the business that you're running, the government says, that goes against what we like to have as a criteria for business type. It's too right wing, or maybe it's even just something we don't approve of. You go to bed, you get up the next day, no money is in your account.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, your business is shut down. No EMI number. You don't even have a tax code thing to deal with. Your business just went. You're stuck with inventory, stuck with everything that you've had, and now you have no money. Now, mind you, they're not just going to take your bank money for your business, they're taking your personal money too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the goal here, because they said it. They said they were going to try and limit the amount of people first. Bill said that. Then they're going to limit the amount of business so that they can divvy up resources a lot better. I don't see anything good coming of this. Um,
No,
like, like at all.
there's absolutely nothing. And let's go back to like the thing
Puppy
that
poke.
people were getting, that thing. So remember they were talking about that digital ID, that COVID ID and all this. So there's other countries already implementing this, and you get the social credit score. Then this goes a lot deeper than just money transactions. So say your bank is tied to the Fed. Your bank is wants you to show proof that you got or they're going to lock your account. That goes all the way up to the Fed. The Fed locks all your money out until you show proof, which they put in their system, that you got the little thing, right? You guys got to think about that. You don't want them controlling your money like that. Then it'd be a social credit system. They're monitoring your social media. They know all your social media. Your social media is tied to your ID. And watch, a lot of these social media sites are going to require, some already do, a picture of your driver's license, a state ID, in order to continue using their platform. So they fall under that Fed system too. They're all tied together. So now they send that ID up to the Fed, and anything that's flagged on your account, guess what the Fed can do? Oh, we don't like his right-wing ideology. Oh, he voted for Trump. Look at his voter registration. We're going to lock him out. You do not want these people to have that much control. But on the other side, when it comes to your mortgage payments, for anybody that has a mortgage out there, or car payment, or anything that you're paying in dollars, what we consider dollars right now, you can disagree with this digital currency also. You can be like, well, I didn't agree in my contract to pay you in this currency. I agreed to pay you in dollars. So, there are loopholes. And if you get a lawyer, I was reading, is that it could be considered a breach of contract because you didn't agree to pay them in this digital fiat currency. It's just a dangerous thing, man. And like Jay was saying earlier, it all leads up to socialism. They also said in some countries that they're making a $20,000 cap on what you can have in your Fed Now account. So, around the world, they've been talking about equity, equality, and all this other stuff. So imagine you're making $50,000, let's say, a year, 60. They're going to be like, no, you're going to be capped at 20. We're going to take this money and we're going to divvy it out to other people who don't have it. We're going to make everybody equal. This is the type of control that you will be giving them. You have to, and it's scary. Yeah, I mean, it's real scary. The fact that the reason it is scary is because what is the one thing that you need really to survive in this world?
Real
Money.
quick, here's the thing. If they deem the materials you use as a contractor environmentally unsafe,
Mm-hmm.
the government does, because they have access to what you purchase with, they can easily monitor what you're purchasing and tell you, no, your money cannot be used for that because we have the last say in what is put into the environment that we
Right.
are taxing. Now, you might think that's overreach, and obviously it is, but unfortunately, we kind of gave them that power because we didn't do anything. We sat by and we just kind of let it roil, both left and right. we just sat there, and then what they did was they saw that we weren't going to say anything, and they started taking small liberties first, and they start taking bigger liberties. We once went to war over tea tax, people.
Mm-hmm.
A tea tax. Tea, because they didn't ask us. Okay? I want you to understand, for far less than this, and when they realize that we're not going to do anything, they'll just keep doing it. So this is technically our fault. Um,
Mm.
we have all been afraid to do what is necessary because we've been told it's illegal, and we believe that it's illegal.
Yep.
And I think we need to stop thinking what they tell us to think and do what needs to be done. Because here's the thing, whether or not they tell you it's illegal does not change the legality of something. Heck, they've been telling us murder is wrong and illegal, but still pass abortion laws. They still murder, but as long as they okay it, it's good murder.
Mm-hmm. I mean, on that point, think about the death sentence. Though I agree with it, if murder is illegal, why is the government allowed to kill people? It's supposed to be illegal. You know what I mean? Illegal is illegal. There's no caveat unless it's self-defense, or that's not considered murder. But it's just little things you have to think about. Think about like all the farmers, the dairy farmers, the chicken farmers, all these farms, right? That sell their product, that process meat, that need to get feed, that need to do this. The government, which they're already trying, deems that the selling of dairy product, the selling of chickens doesn't jive with what we're going to allow you to do. They can cut you off at the knees trying to buy chicken feed and cow feed and all this other stuff for your cows and chickens. This is the control they want. This is why they're buying up farmlands. This is why they're creating lab meat. They're doing all this. This is some Soylent Green stuff that they're trying to do to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This is Orwellian 1984 stuff that all this conspiracy theory people been talking about, but everybody thought we was crazy. We've been saying it. We've been telling people, and it's all coming to fruition, and it's supposed to kick in July 1st. This is what they're saying. Supposed to. But I think in my conspiracy theory mind that something's going to happen before July 1st, and they're going to do it in the dark, and then we're going to wake up one morning, and it's just going to be a totally different system. You're going to go to use your bank card, and something's going to happen. So you're not going to be able to use it. You're not going to be able to make a payment. You're going to log in and make your mortgage payment. They're going to be like, you need to agree to the terms of the CBDC. Do you agree? You better not agree to that crap. You better say no. No, I don't agree. Defiance is the key.
Do you remember War of the Worlds?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
The Tom Cruise one.
Okay.
I like the old one too, but I'm talking about the Tom Cruise one for a very specific reason.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that they were saying that there was an invasion, and that what they started doing was not just harvesting people to change them or anything; it was harvesting their bodies for use.
Mm-hmm.
And they would siphon them up, crunch it up, milk them dry, and then toss out the excess onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
As you were talking, I couldn't help but think that with this concept that they're coming up with now that the aliens are here, that they will find a way. It might be a stretch, people, but hey, I've seen crazy things happen when I say it wouldn't happen. Where they start to say, well, this is what we have to do. We have to be partner with them, and they have to be the ones that are seeing our environment going downhill, and they're going to have to start taking care of people a certain way. Call it strange all you want, but look, they advertise their stuff before they do it. They talked about the minority. Someone mentioned the Minority Report, same thing, but they're doing that now. It's just called social media. They guess what you're going to do based on what you say before, and then they kind of pattern you out. This is exactly what they can prejudge what you're going to do and try to get ahead of the curve with your crime spree by going to you before anything happens. Money is just one of those trails. If my purchase history is of Bibles and Christian paraphernalia, and they have Facebook already doing that, right? You can't purchase anything without them knowing. You don't think that the government is going to step in and say, "Oh, they're purchasing what? This is information we decided to give when the Patriot Act got put out there. We decided because we told them go ahead." You don't think they're going to monitor what you're buying? If you buy a MAGA gear, if you buy ammunition, if you buy guns, if you're spending money on a certain type of platform, and they realize that you are the problem in their mind,
Right.
you're done. That's it.
And on that point with guns, the guns that you have registered, usually pistols or guns like that, they know you have them. So imagine them saying, "Oh, we know you own X, Y, and Z guns, this many guns, and until you turn them over, your funds are turned off." What do you think the average American is going to do? They have to take care of their family. They have to eat, right? They're going to turn them in. This is all control, man. And it was a point Marlon brought up about War of the Worlds and how there was this guy many years ago. I'll bring up the video. It's called "Justify Your Existence," right? And that's something that is a possibility. They're going to look at the people and say that does happen. You'll have to justify your existence at one point because the Fed can't sustain that. So now you want to go and get medical care. How old is that person? Oh, that person's 70 years old. What do they have? Oh, they have cancer. Oh, no, we're not going to allow them to pay for that. We're not going to allow them to do that. The insurance won't pay for that. And eventually the insurance companies will be centralized too.
That's
this
scary.
is all, they're just all leading to one central. This is why they're pushing for Medicare for all. It's a centralized this, a centralized that. It's total freaking control, man. And like Marlon said, we allowed it. We sat back, knew this was coming years ago. This is pretty much biblical prophecy. If you read your Bible, it was telling us about this. And we knew this years ago that it was coming. And we just sat back, enjoyed life. And now we're trying to catch up. And they're already 20 steps ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
They're already way ahead of us. So guys like us that are voicing our opinion like this, they'll be watching. They'll be like, "Oh, who is that? Go to his email. Oh, that's where he lives. Oh, that's where he's from. Okay, shut his card off until they shut up."
You don't even have to look at the guns. What if, you have centralized government, 3-letter agencies like the FDA, right? What if they look at, your food purchasing items? Oh, this person bought too much meat. We don't like the fact that he purchased local grass-fed organic beef from a local farm that he paid through the CBD, whatever thing. Like, we don't like that. So, hey, we're going to limit your meat purchasing capabilities down to 1 porterhouse a day or 1 porterhouse a week or a month. And it's just like, talk about the infringement of personal liberty at that point.
They've already done it, though. Remember during the COVID, the pandemic, remember they were limiting when you went to the grocery store. They were like, you only could buy two of the same item. And this is what it's going to come down to. In my belief, I think it's going to come down to an app on your phone that states that you got the thing, and the FedNow app is all going to be tied in. You have to scan to get into the store, and that app will tell you your purchasing limit that day. And it'll tell you exactly what you can buy. So everything that you have to buy, instead of going to a cashier, it's already right here. You just scan the item, boop, put it in your basket. And if you try to go over, it'll deny it.
Yeah.
Because everything's AI. AI is going to know what the heck you're buying, and it'll just deny it. And then before you go out, you have to scan to get out the store so the store can verify exactly what you have. So it's crazy. This is just some conspiracy theory stuff, but most of us conspiracy theorists have been right. I'm just saying, this is just my mind working.
But here's also the crazy part about that. So they limit your purchasing ability for just basic rations alone. And you're living in these 15-minute cities, so to speak, which is the future of where they're going, right? So if that's the direction they're taking, not only are you going to be cramped, you're going to be more diseased. They're not going to give any more care to it because of a centralized medical system, a centralized insurance system, a centralized financial system, and then a centralized food rationing system. That's your basic level communism, socialism thing across the board. And y'all said it.
Steroids
We
on
let it
steroids.
on
The
steroids.
remember now they're making that 3D meat, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Let's take it one step further. They're going to only limit your purchases to that type of meat. They're going to do away with farms, do away with people growing their own meat, and you have to purchase if you want to eat what they create. And if you don't buy that, then you can't get it anywhere else. If they find you having or rearing animals, you're arrested.
Mhm.
Everything you have to do is through the government. Now, this is what I think by the time we get to that precursor will be the partial test for the mark. That's just me. This ain't a religious thing. I'm just telling you what I think about, which is why I won't be participating in it. If you're going to
Mm-mm.
tell me I need to starve to death, then guess what? I'm
I'll
starving.
eat grass.
Yeah, I'm starving. So it's not going to be a very difficult decision for me, not like at all. But for many, they'll be like, well, I need to eat. I need to live. I need to do this. I need to. Before too long, you show you might need to. But what happens when they decide you've eaten too much? What when they decide that you say something just stupid enough for them that they say you can't even buy anything. You can't now remember everything wants to go electric. Water, power, vehicles, food. So if you go against the government, they shut off your power. Look at that Amazon thing that happened. They shut your whole house down, so now you have no power. You don't have any money because they regulate the money. You can't go out because they regulate your car. So now you are confined at home. You can't eat. You can't do nothing. You can't shower. Can't see. Can't. You're dead in the water. And yeah, 3D meat, not just 3D meat, fake meat that they have manufactured in lab grown meat that they're also looking at putting. I'm not going to say it, so don't want to repeat it, please. They put that stuff that you take for the illness in it. So now, whether you want to have it or not, whether you want to take the poke, you have no choice now. If you could eat it, you got it. That it goes far beyond the funds. This is
Mm-hmm.
another phase of it. They have to control how and what you do with it. And the only way they can do that is to transfer it out of your hands, which is tangible, and into their hands, which is digital. They already
Yep.
rule the airways. The government has the internet. The government has the digital banking system. They have it. So if they can force you to participate in it, they got you by the cojones, man. You're done.
Oh
But
yeah, and with this digital currency, I see them offering incentives and all types of stuff. Well, if you could show proof that you have a smart home, we'll take it off your taxes and blah blah blah. And that's just another way to monitor you. Think about, all the other fees that they can go into your account anytime they want and take. They talk about a carbon footprint, right? They track you on your phone. They'll be like, "Oh, your carbon footprint was this much. So with that carbon footprint that big, we're going to take this out your account." They're going to know where you're at. You know what I mean? So and people just got to be smart and don't accept it. I mean, look, do what you got to do to take care of your family. Put it that way. Do what you have to do to take care of you and yours. But whatever they giveth, they can take it at any moment in time they want. Any moment. And then they're going to say no cows. They're going to round up all the cows. And then what are they going to be eating while the rest of us are eating Soylent Green? We don't know what's in this stuff that they're giving us. It could be humans. You know what I mean? For all I know, while they're over there eating porterhouses and they're eating all the good stuff, we're going to be eating scraps.
was it Demolition Man?
Soylent Green,
No,
whatever.
was it Demolition Man that had the
Yeah,
same theory
yep,
with
Demolition
Wesley
Man.
Snipes?
Mm-hmm.
Right? All the people were down below, and all the decadent people who abided by the rules were up above. It's like they keep telling you what their goal is, but no one wants to listen. Nobody wants to. Someone mentioned
Recent.
bicycles. Buy a bike. That won't matter. Look at scooters. They're starting to make dockable scooters and bicycles, and they control them. They can shut them down mid drive if they need to.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making it so convenient that you don't even have to buy your own bike. You just get a pass. And anywhere you see a bike that's parked at the dock, you can just take it and go where you want to go. You think buying your own bike will be that much of an incentive to lazy people?
No.
And if they find out that you got one and they're trying to change everything over to being a controlled environmental thing, safe thing, your bike's not going to be usable either.
Yep.
This all sounds weird, but it's not weird. It's supposed to happen, one, but two, it's coming whether we like it or not.
And it's coming fast. And think
I think
about, Jay brought up 15-minute cities, right? And they're going to be like, how are they going to implement these 15-minute cities? Sometimes, think outside the box and use your critical thinking skills. What do most people live in? Subdivisions and apartment complexes, right? What are most those? Those are divisions, which at any moment there's usually one way in or one way out, or two, three, just depending. There's three. Mine has about 4 ways in from different directions. So imagine them. Okay, we're just going to gate this up. This is a 15-minute city and within itself, right here, 15-minute compound. And then they do it with apartment complexes. You can't get out. You can go in and out, but you have to do what they do in China. So it's already been implemented for years. This is nothing new, people. I mean, they've been talking about this. I mean, when I first heard it was from George Bush Sr. When he mentioned it. They've been talking about this for years. This is why we have subdivisions. This is why we have gated communities. This is why everything is gated. We're thinking it's for our safety. No, it's a test. And watch, they'll shut it down. They'll be like, all right, shut this community down. Here's a little scan card. And in and out, 15-minute cities.
Here's the thing: a 15-minute city, if you want to know, it's everywhere. Maximum it takes you to get to a place of something that you need is 15 minutes. Okay.
Mhm.
Here is the biggest issue with 15-minute cities. 15-minute cities give you a very, one, like Jay said, cramped living space. But two, the only way for you to live in one would be to give up a whole lot of rights. Cars are necessary.
Mhm.
Okay. The only bikes you can own because of how tight the space is one that will be one they can monitor, where you can leave outside docked somewhere. You won't be able to fit inside your home. Um, they'll limit the size of family you can have.
Mhm.
Whew.
Okay. China's already doing that. Remember, China has a 1.5 family rule, 1.5 bodies, children.
Yep.
So when you look at what everyone might be looking at as, oh, it's efficiency, convenience. Convenience always has a price, and in this case, it's the biggest price is your life.
Yep.
It's your sovereignty. It's your freedom. If you value that, that might not be the way for you to go. I mean, next to Saudi Arabia building that single wall living structure where everything is going vertical, you definitely can't have a car there. You have to depend on what they're doing, a rail system. And the only person that uses the rail system are people who are controlled. You have to have a pass to use the rail system. Heck, they may even make you to have a pass to get into your house.
Yep.
Judge Dredd had something like that, and the Fifth Element had something like that.
Yep.
Fifth Element you had to have a certain type of card to get anywhere. So they, like I said, they keep telling us what's coming. Elysium, same thing.
I was gonna
They
say.
tell you, they always tell you. And if you're not watching them, they'll just say, okay, I guess you guys have no objection, so we'll just go ahead and do it.
We're just gonna do it.
I mean,
I
we
mean,
made money with the movie, so
if you think about most communities, what is most communities usually 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe within? Some type of shopping center, some type of freaking, grocery store. So we already pretty much live a certain, not everyone, except for the people out in the rural areas. But if you live within city limits, you're usually 15 minutes away from some type of shopping center. It's perfect, man. It's easy to implement,
all right,
you know?
here we go. I want to read this because this applies. This is my last point because it's a good one, I think.
Hmm.
All right. This is a since you mentioned, Daly brought this 15-minute city into, and it works out perfectly into this whole new money thing, okay? Because it's exactly what their goal is. There are 16 cities worldwide that have implemented 15-minute city concept or similar ideas and are working on doing so. The approaches vary, with some cities looking to implement 20-minute concept or 10-minute concept, and others focus on individual urban districts or set on recreating the entire city. Among the pioneers is the French capital. After Carlos Moreno introduced his concept in 2016, the mayor of Paris, Anne Hidalgo, presented it in her re-election campaign and began implementing it during the pandemic. The core of the Paris concept sees schools as capitals, making them the center of each neighborhood. Sounds so efficient, so kid-centric. Schoolyards are being refurbished into parks to make them accessible for other activities after class. Paris also wants to repurpose half of its 140,000 car parking spaces, turning them into green areas, playgrounds, neighborhoods, meetup, or bike parking spots. Streets right across Paris are due to be bike friendly by 2026. In 2016, Shanghai announced plans to introduce what it's called 15-minute community life circles, a plan that would ensure all day-to-day activities are within 15 minutes walking distance. Another 50 Chinese cities are looking to implement this concept. Now, if you think that's crazy, think about what the actual repercussions are. If they take away parking spots, that mean you can't park. And if it's going to be a 15-minute city, you know what that means, right? You got to use their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means that you got to use their stuff, it means that they have the control over what you buy.
Yeah, I was reading something about there's some places trying to implement just coming to take your vehicle. So say you're not into this smart vehicle, electric vehicle. If it's passed, they can just come to your driveway. If you got a gas guzzler, they can just snatch it right out your freaking
That's crazy.
your house. You know, because they keep pushing all this, clean that, clean. The world was supposed to end. The world's ending. The world was supposed to end. They keep telling us this. And we're all buying into it. Not all of us, but there are people actually buying into this nonsense. Who the hell wants the government to have total control over everything you do? Think about that. Total control. They want control over your children. They're already trying it. What did Joe Biden say? It's the community's kids. These are all our children.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
That's
it's
scary to me.
it's terrifying. What is this?
This is a concept for exactly what we were talking about, the
Smart
whole
city and so.
smart city thing. Okay,
Mm.
so watch. Let me see something here. There's something I want you guys to see real quick. Now, I'm I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. Um, if you look at that thing in the middle there, that little circular loopity loop diddy loop thing, you see it? You see this thing
Yeah, I
right
see
there,
it.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. There's something odd about it that jumped out at me as soon as I saw it. Okay. And I just remembered I covered something like it this morning. Um, if you go look at the Lucifer symbol, it has the infinity symbol at the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look in the middle.
I see it.
Okay. And now they also have a couple of symbols within the what you call it, the triangle, the devil's triangle, that have the same type of overlapping circles. Um, People might say, well, that's coincidental. No, no, it's not. Here's the other thing. Okay, so I'll bring this up here so people can see. Look at the top left picture.
Mm-hmm.
You see the intersecting things?
Oh yeah.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Now watch that. Now what? There was another human that's been around talking about Venn diagrams. You ever wonder why she keeps talking about her liking Venn diagrams?
Why?
What does a Venn diagram do?
Diagrams, the external circles, and then the combination of the inside circles listing
Look,
off certain
look,
commonalities.
look, look, look.
I mean, yeah. I
Okay,
see it.
and it's the same, and it's just like the paradigm for devil signature.
Mm. Mm.
See, here's the thing. That's in Seoul, Korea right now, and they're projecting the smart city to be implemented in 2024. I watch a lot of Korean television, and I'm already seeing glimpses of these high-rise apartments being constructed along the Han River in Seoul, Korea, and they're called luxury apartments. But at the same time, they're all congregated within literally a 10-minute block inside Seoul. So they're starting.
That's a luxury.
Mm.
That's quite a luxury.
And
Right.
and
And see,
you know,
here's
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I think that we need to be people who understand rhetoric, because, like, for instance, plans to unveil a plans for plans unveiled for high tech 10-minute city in Seoul, where they call it a quote smart city. Or, I mean, again, I think the left is really, really good at marketing, and they use these sexy terms to get us to, trigger our I don't know what you would call it, our selfish, side of our
That's a
brain,
good way
where
of putting
we
it.
want
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
where we want the smart cities and we want these conveniences, and the next thing you know, here we are. Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, go ahead, take my ID. Sure, I'll join the Creator Fund if it means I can get more money from this fiat currency from whatever. So I think we need to be the types of people that looks at words, and if words matter, and bro, you said once before, words are spells.
Mm-hmm.
Smart city, convenience, safety. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, people love their convenience these days, man, and we're all guilty of it. I love the convenience of not having to go to the bank, to do something. I love that convenience, but whatever convenient, for every convenience that you have, there is always a downfall to it. There's always a downfall, Online banking's fine and dandy till the internet goes out. There's always a downfall to something. So I just don't see this being good, man. It's like it's almost intimidating, It's like, oh, what if this does kick off on a first, and then I have to make my mortgage payment, and then they want me to agree to this new fiat currency, and I don't agree. How am I going to do this? How am I going to pay for my house? How am I going to do this? And then they kind of force your hand into it. They force you, because nobody wants to lose their home. But as you guys are talking about these smart cities and these high-rise apartments that they want to put everybody in, remember that thing, eminent domain, to where if the government decided to build a highway through your subdivision, they can do it. They just got to pay you whatever the cost of your home is, and they can buy it from you, and then they could build whatever. And that's what I see them doing. Your house is no longer your house. The government now owns all this land, because you don't own your land. Even if you own a house, the government still owns the land. That's why you pay property tax. And if they want to take that land, they can do it. And if you don't agree, hey, okay, we're going to cut off all your money. Sorry, agree, or you won't be able to do anything. And we're going to take it regardless.
This is how they're going to get your money. This is how they're going to make you feel like you should be doing it. They'll give you something really nice. Hey, look, you can just pay. You don't even have to have your wallet. Less chances of you getting robbed. They can't take anything from you. All your money is secure. It's all in the cloud. They can't take it from you. More secure. More efficiency, safety. They'll pass all these buzzwords around, And what eventually will happen is that you will end up going to this, taking the implant, and becoming one of them, and saying, "Oh, I'm fine now. I don't need my ID with me anymore. Cops can just scan my shoulder, scan my hand. Oh, that's who you are? Go ahead and take it, people. You ain't gonna snooker me into that crap. I'm years ahead of you with that one. You ain't catching me. You ain't. Between that and Neuralink, yeah,
Oh, no, no, no. I mean, just pay attention, like Marlon brought up earlier. Pay attention to what they've been showing us in movies. And a lot of you people that are watching are very smart and very intelligent. You free thinkers, majority of you, or you wouldn't be watching the show. Uh, Look at all the movies that they've shown, and we love these movies. Hunger Games. You know, they're telling us right to our face they're playing the Hunger Games. Soylent Green, Snowpiercer. Uh, what's that one with Matt Damon? We said it earlier.
Elysium.
Elysium. Things like that, which they've been telling us. And we've just been enjoying the show, man. It's just like they're showing us right there. They're telling us.
It's Neuralink, not Eurolink.
Yeah, Neuralink.
Elon Musk implant in the head to monitor your thought process. And Brenda, here's what I would do. If you pull your money, if you're that concerned, pull it and damn it all, spend it all in non-perishable food.
Mm-hmm.
Beans, rice, and seeds while you can, but mostly the non-perishable type. Learn for yourself how to preserve foods by salt with your meat.
Yep.
Learn how to airspace lock your food so that they don't have to go bad because you've taken them into zero temperature. Build a zero temperature room. Okay. Do you have this? If you're going to spend your money, get yourself a nice bunker. Spend all your money in building a bunker. Get the bunker ready. Food. Make sure you have at least a 10-year supply. Like I'm dead serious. That's what we'll have to get to. Get to your 10-year supply of foods that you can go through every day. You can have 3 square meals and not worry.
Mm-hmm.
Water and food. After that, you don't got to worry about it, because they're going to end up making you want to take their way. But if you do it, make sure you don't let nobody know where that thing is.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, this other monetary system, money system that they're talking about comes into place. But I don't know, man. They had the Jasara, they had a quantum financial system. There's a lot of other systems out there that they're fighting against because they're trying to push this Fed now.
Hey, they killed Gaddafi for less.
Yep.
Okay, they killed Gaddafi for less. All he wanted to do was go back to gold. They killed him.
Yeah,
Obama, your boy Obama, straight up murked that dude. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just want people to
remember. And he was loved in his country.
Loved.
He was loved. Same with Saddam Hussein. I was over there. They actually liked Saddam Hussein. They said he was hard. His kids were crazy, but Saddam Hussein himself took care of his country. And so this is all a power play. Same with Putin. They're trying to take that guy out too. They're trying to get rid of all these people who are against this global system. They want the whole world, every country involved in these countries. Yeah, these countries are fighting back.
They take their Jesus now. They want the whole world in their hands.
As for the American people, they've intimidated us to pay taxes. They intimidated us to say, hey, we're going to take your house. We're going to throw you in jail. We're going to do this to you. So understand, like this Fed system. If you owe any debt, right? Say you owe credit card debt. And they find out, which they're going to know. They're going to take it.
No one's going to know. They're going to know.
They're going to take it. Because you don't have control over your funds anymore. Wait, he owes $5,000 in this credit card. It's 5 years overdue. Poop! We're going to take that off the top. Oh, there's a fee for climate change. There's a fee for your carbon footprint.
There it is. Yeah.
There's a fee. There's a fee for the air you breathe. It's going to be so many fees within that they're going to take off the top because they're in control. Oh, you want to rebel against it? Okay.
It's coming, and it's gonna happen. Oh yeah, it was something else. What was it? I'm trying to find it myself here, so we can shut down. I'm trying to remember what it was.
I honestly think at the end of the day, we need to be mindful of. Because the thing is that you can't call ourselves we the people when we the people are sitting back letting them do all the work to govern us, when we're supposed to be individuals who are just liberty hungry, and yet here we are You know, oh, it's convenient. Oh, I mean, yeah, an Amazon store that I don't need a checkout clerk with. I can just, scan and oh, it's convenient. But at the end of the day, like bro said, like convenience comes with a cost. And I honestly believe that if we're going to have that American spirit that the founding fathers had, then we need to recognize that dangerous liberty matters more than safe slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, just everybody look into it. Do your research. The information's out there.
Yeah.
Go into the Fed site, look up the quantum financial system, look up XRP, look up all these systems, and read into the CBDC, and you'll understand. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
But
So Wednesday, like I said, this weekend. Remember, this weekend we're doing our weekend dealio with Savage Patriots. I think we might put it to 8 o'clock instead of 8:30. I mean 6:30. System from 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock instead of 6:30.
okay.
That'll give us a little more time.
Sounds
But
good.
on Wednesday we're going to be tackling the issue with the double standard between the gay Pride Week and why can't we have straight Pride Week, and what exactly their agenda is and why is it that they need to have kids in front of it. So we'll tackle all that. We'll try and be as nice as possible, but the topic isn't really lending to a whole lot of niceness. So, but we'll try. I promise to try. I don't say I'd never said I'd succeed. I just said I'm gonna try. Okay. So, okay, just
I guess buckle up, folks.
I will try. But on Saturday, I'm not trying at all to be nice. It's all not nice on Saturday. So show up Wednesday. We'll talk about the events that are happening in Portland and Seattle and New York and California. They have been having pride marches almost every day, it seems.
They're ramping it up because they know it's coming to an end. But I also heard about Pride Summer that Mr. Potato was talking about. The whole summer. So
jeez.
Weird. I didn't see black people get a whole summer.
No.
Huh.
Sure didn't.
No, they got the Summer of Love, didn't they?
That ain't black.
Or was that white people?
That was.
Or was that white liberal Summer of Love? Is that what it was?
That was Summer Love. That was a bunch of Marxists. But
a bunch of malarkey.
Yeah, malarkey. But yeah, we always want you guys to think and do your own research. You should always research some of the things we're talking about, because maybe our research was wrong. We research it and maybe we're seeing things that you're seeing and we're not seeing, that you're not seeing. So we challenge you guys to research stuff. And if we get something wrong, please let us know. Please let us know, because like I said, we're only going through so much information. Maybe you found something deep down in the rabbit hole. But look up July 1st, look at the CBDC, look at the FedNow app. This is why they're getting rid of the Cash App, the Venmo, and the PayPal. Ironically, the guy that created Cash App was, so
Nixtified.
And also another conspiracy theory I want you to wrap your head around with. The new theory is that the guys that was on that submarine was against FedNow. Ooh. So one of the billionaires that were on that thing, these rich people, a lot of them were
that's
against.
Rumble talk. Say that for Rumble.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. The world's going crazy. Game frogs. Alex Jones moment.
We know who else we can bring into that conversation?
Who?
The guy that owned that virus software.
McAfee.
Yeah. McAfee. Yeah. We got to talk about him too. So we'll catch you guys on a different episode on Wednesday. Mr. Lee.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Savage Patriots are out.
Peace.